Hello and welcome to the Nightly News. I'm Cordelia.
And I'm Sophia. On today's program, we will be talking to you about iPads, Roundtable, baseball, mental health, drama, and physical fitness. First, let's go to Autumn with a report on the use of iPads.
Whether or not iPads are beneficial for a school system or a distraction.
I use my iPad for non-educational purposes mostly, but I use educational purposes when I have to.
School-related work. I have one game and Spotify.
In my class, I hope that students are using their iPads mostly for activities that we're doing associated with our curriculum, for completing essays, for completing research projects, and also for creating various products that they need to do for an assignment. Then every now and then I'll happen upon a student who is using them for games.
Not very often. Usually I see them playing a lot of games like me, so.
Probably 3/4 of the time I'm at school. In school. No, I never use it outside of school.
Almost every day.
I think the iPad itself is not designed for high school curriculum use. It's not very effective for word processing and for really doing research projects in an easy manner where you can flip back and forth between one tab and another.
I mean, I guess a little bit, just not like, we could learn other ways, I guess. It's just the iPad hasn't really done anything.
I guess it's more convenient than paper and pen and some paperwork, I guess.
I do see them very useful for things like computers and art, for a lot of the math programs that they can use on them. I think they're fantastic. One of my frustrations with the iPad is you can't use any Flash player application on there, so if you have videos or something like that, you can't actually use those on the iPad.
Therefore, iPads are beneficial and a distraction dependent on how a student uses them throughout a normal school day. I'm Autumn Parmelo reporting from WPRH.
iPads are a huge debate topic at our school right now. The school board is trying to come to a decision of whether they should use Chromebooks or stay with iPads. Now, let's go to Cordelia with a story on Roundtable.
Roundtable helps children in the future, creates a sense of community, and makes us more sociable people.
Roundtable are how to work as a team. It's like a family that's not really a family, which means it's really difficult sometimes, but also really rewarding when it's not really difficult.
Teaches students how to work with people that they may not necessarily get along with, but are able to form a relationship with. So like if you have a job and you're working with people that you don't like, or you have a boss that you don't necessarily get along with, Roundtable is a good way for you to learn how to cope with that and still have good working relationships with people.
Roundtable, I think, will influence my future because of the people that I'll be around and how I'll learn in here, and it'll influence about where I'll go to college, what colleges I'll learn about.
What makes Roundtable the best, I think, is that it's like a family. It can be like a family. You get to be around the same group for the whole 4 years you're in high school. And I think that very thing is exactly what makes it the most difficult as well.
Roundtable is important because you have one person who is a consistent adult in your life for 4 years, and the same group of kids who you get to experience all of the different hurdles of early high school, late high school.
My Roundtable teacher, she really makes me think about my future, where I'm going to college, what I'm going to do with my life, and she really keeps me organized in my classes and in my life.
I talk to their teachers, I work with their parents, and I am their point person to make sure they're doing okay.
Students' personalities affect how Roundtable functions because it kind of creates a culture within each class. I think if you looked in each different roundtable door during roundtable time, I think you'd see something different in every single room. I think that roundtable teachers influence the kids because they set the stage for the success for their students and their welfare altogether, whether it's grades or whether they're having a bad day or something going on at home. Roundtable teachers, I think, are really critical pieces to kids' lives here at school. Experience.
Well, I have about a best friend group, about 5 people, and none of them are in this roundtable. So being in this roundtable really makes me incorporate myself into other friend groups and other people around me that I don't think I would be friends with right now if I hadn't had a roundtable.
Overall, Roundtable helps students become better people. Thanks for watching WPRH. This is Cordelia Christopher.
Thanks, Cordelia. I enjoyed hearing about Roundtable. Another thing I really like to participate in is baseball. Here's Jake to tell you all about it.
The Poland Regional High School baseball team is preparing for the upcoming 2017 season. Why?
I think you guys are going to be great. I think because you had some really good coaching early that I think really helped you guys middle school on up. I'm thinking mostly middle school and JV. So I think you guys had some real solid skills, and I think as you've gotten older, you built on them. I think you guys are not only teammates but friends, and I think that plays a huge role in the fact that you guys like buddy around and pal around all the time, and like stuff like that really helps. So I think you guys are gonna be good.
I mean, knowing most of you guys, I feel like you guys have played enough baseball in the off season. You guys are dedicated enough to where you guys will win games, and you guys will compete all season. The amount of work you put in outside of your school really determines on how you do for your school.
Seniors will play a large role for the Knights this season. The team.
I think it's important to have senior leaders on the team because the younger kids look up to them a lot, and the coaches use them as kind of like the on-field coaches, I guess. So it really helps when you have to make decisions on the fly and stuff like that. So
an impact, I mean, you do lose, like I said earlier, the leadership piece, the experience piece, but I mean, it's also a chance for whoever's coming up to be more leaders in the upcoming years.
To help your younger kids learn how to act, how to treat the game, how to approach a game, and to model what to do in certain situations. It's really important to have somebody who's been there and seen some of the tricks that the teams will play on you and how to deal with it and how to overcome it.
The Knights have been preparing during the off-season despite the elements.
Well, it's really tough when you live in the state of Maine because you have snow, you have ice, and you have badgers.
it's good that we've had a lot of kids who do play year-round, whether that be just going to the batting cages or just going outside when they have the chance to throw. I think it's good to get ahead, like in December, January, February.
I'm Jake Wiseman, reporting for WPRHS.
Thanks, Jake. That really made me want to participate in baseball. Next is Alexis, who has all the news on mental health.
At Poland Regional High School, a stand is taken against bullying due to its impression on mental health.
Bullying can affect mental health in a lot of ways. Certainly different mental disorders can be caused by bullying. It's not quite as black and white as that.
If someone's being bullied, they're likely to walk around in a state of fear or a state of anxiety or a state of sort of having to watch out and be hypervigilant. And that could take away from a student's ability to focus on, something else that's put in front of them, like schoolwork. Where they're so focused on what's not right, what's not going well, it prevents them from absorbing information and taking care of the learning part. So, finding a way to be okay enough to learn, to be in a learning zone rather than a panic zone is important.
and there's no way you can get yourself to do work. You're just sitting there looking at your screen, beating yourself up over the fact that you're not doing work, which isn't helping you do any work.
Your health is as important as your education. Teenagers and adults often prioritize physical health and education, causing mental health issues.
But mental health can be just as, I mean, it obviously is just as important as physical health, but in some ways it can be more important because your mental health really does influence how you take care of your body and how you take care of yourself, which can negatively affect your physical health. So I feel in some ways mental health is more important than
causing the anxiety to come up, sort of problem situations, finding a way to troubleshoot those situations and take care of them, and then just finding a way to maintain, because we all have anxiety and stress to some degree. To some degree it's not a bad thing, but when it gets too big and it's a daily basis where people are just overstressed on a daily basis, it calls for some balance for sure.
Mental health is an important issue that is taken very seriously here at Bowling Regional High School. Throughout the staff and student population, there's many ways to overcome obstacles and improve your overall mental health. I'm Alexis Barrel and I'm reporting for WPRH.
Thanks, Alexis. Mental health is so important. If you are struggling with issues, we have many counselors at PRHS that can help.
One way to help with your mental health is to get physically active. Here's Sean with more.
Sean, reporting for PRHS News, and I'm going to say physical fitness and goal setting is very important at Bowling Regional High School. Students and teachers all value general fitness.
Yes, the focus of your workout really should depend on what your goal is that you're shooting for. You know, if you're aiming to run a long distance race, then you obviously want to focus on building some aerobic capacity. But again, it depends on what your goal is.
I'd say for students who really like to work out, sometimes you get someone who breaks an ankle and they can't participate anymore, but they find ways to still exercise and work out with their upper body, or swimming using some sort of machine or a bike or something to get that exercise that they're looking for.
I think that whether you're lifting or you're running, whatever, I think that if on your lifting day you should do some running as well. Maybe not as much as you would do on a day that you would be solely doing the running workout.
Just move more. The funny thing is, kids don't know how to fall, so they should learn how to fall, learn how to tumble, learn how to roll, learn how to control their bodies. Kinesthetic awareness, balance, it's huge. For most kids, it's just general fitness. If they improve their general fitness, they should probably be a little bit safer and more successful in their sport of choice.
Okay. Improving your general fitness will keep you safer and improve your general health. I'm Sean, reporting for PRHS, and have a nice day.
Thanks, Sean. I sure like being active, but I wish social drama wasn't an issue at schools. Here is Clarissa with more on that issue.
In today's day and age, students in high school can get involved in drama, and that can affect their everyday life. Okay.
Drama has its start in any conflict between people who do or don't have a relationship. And one thing that happens in high school is that people develop new relationships. They start to see changes in previous relationships, and they're the ones that they came to high school with. And both of those events, forming new relationships or seeing changes in existing relationships, can lead to misunderstanding and a change in the way people see each other. I think that that kind of change can result in misunderstandings, in miscommunication, in a reordering of priorities, where people begin to have other interests and may not spend the same kind of time with each other, or if they're starting a new relationship, they may not fully understand the other person's perspectives or interests and so on. I think in both of those situations you have the possibility that people are going to get upset with each other.
In today's day and age, drama is increasing, especially in high school. Here's how it affects some of the students.
Me personally, it affects like my anxiety at school. Like I don't want to get up and come to school because there's drama at school. you don't want to even go to class. You just kind of just want to walk the halls, stay in the bathroom, talk to anyone that you can talk to, because there's just too many people being rude.
Although students can get affected by drama, there are some ways to try and avoid drama.
Try a 1-week ban on social media. Like shut yourself off from Facebook and Twitter and whatever else, and try it. You'll probably gonna sleep better and you'll feel better, and you'll probably go through withdrawal, but it'll help. It'll help you keep some thoughts inside and process, as opposed to getting it out there before it raises all kinds of complications.
Although people try to avoid drama, there are so many different ways drama can be started, and not all can be controlled.
I think the most common kind of drama is drama based on miscommunication between friends. Other types of drama can be people who don't know each other, but one person has said something about the other, and the target isn't sure why that's happened. A big piece of drama is when somebody will hear something about someone else and go to the target and say, I heard this, without any further information, without doing any checking, believing that they're helping the person out, but in fact creating drama rather than resolving it. Another kind of drama is sometimes between students and their family members. That has come in. No matter what it is, the staff and I all try to take the approach that we can work through this.
As you can see, drama happens everywhere. Although there are ways to try and avoid it, sometimes it's not possible to be avoided. I'm Clarissa, reporting for WPRH.
Thank you for that report.
That's it for our show. I hope you enjoyed our student reports. I'm Cordelia.
And I'm Sophia. Have a great day.